This is Lindsay. It's September 15th, 2025, and it's Monday. I'm going to try to make this as brief as I can because I actually had a nightmare about being poisoned last night, ironically enough, and I couldn't sleep very well because of a certain individual who showed up yesterday basically harassing me and gaslighting me again. Coming to my front door, my back door, knocking on the window, demanding that I let him inside. So, what happens is I let him inside again, my house, knowing good and well that he's a liar, that he's dangerous, and he's a psychopath. And I had actually made a video a couple days ago. Now you people are going to make fun of me about my fucking hair, which, whatever. I had made a video just the other day about that I had put on private, okay? And I recorded that video like a day before that he shows up, right? And then he shows up yesterday. I was talking about narcissists, and then guess what? Guess who shows up yesterday? But I had not even put that video. The video was on private still on my YouTube channel. But anyway, let me talk about what happened. So he comes over here yesterday, and I did a video. I recorded it about this morning on my phone. I did a video about the same thing because I was in shock. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Because I was having weird dreams last night. I couldn't really sleep, and his behavior was so weird. I was like, what is he? Is he on some kind of drug? He's acting like he's on, like, I know this guy, and he shows up all of a sudden after like a month, right? I hadn't heard anything from him. And he had said things, because I haven't blocked on my phone, but he had said that, he's been calling me and texting me. But for whatever reason, sometimes when he calls me, even though its number is blocked, it'll show up that he's called. Other times it doesn't. But he started leaving me voicemail messages again a couple days ago. Ironically enough, around the same time that I've been corresponding with someone else who I'm trying to get some help from, like spiritual advising, whatever you want to call it, guidance, somebody who I've been talking to who's a friend. I've never met the person, but I've spoken to him on the phone several times and paid the man some money. At first I thought maybe he was a fraud. I don't think he is. I don't trust anybody, but I've talked to him enough now to feel like he's someone who might be someone who's a good person. I think he is. He seems to be a good person to me. That's just what I feel. But I have a difficult time trusting anybody considering all the things I've been through. But anyway, so back to what happened. This man, this Valdez, Mr. Valdez, I'll just call him Mr. Valdez. Yeah, Luis shows up here yesterday in the afternoon. I'm busy. I don't want to see him. He was there for like a good 30 minutes, and I was just completely ignoring everything. Okay, at least 25 minutes of him knocking on the door, saying my name, please let me in. I want to talk to you. I miss you. All that rigmarole stuff, right? And I was just ignoring him, completely sitting here silent, not doing anything. And finally, I just went up to the window and just started like looking at him and just playing dumb, like playing like a fucking child, because he acts like a child, so I was going to act like a child back to him and mirror and mock him so he sees what it feels like. And so he started getting really frustrated, and then finally I opened the door a little bit, and he came in, and then of course he manages to, I let him inside. Okay, yes, I let him in my house. Bad me, shame on me, but he was begging like a dog outside on the porch, and I felt like, in a way, I felt sorry for him, like what the fuck is going on, because there's something wrong. You can tell when somebody's going through something by their voice and the messages he had been leaving me. His voice sounds real, I can just tell he's really angry, he's under a lot of stress, and he shows up, he smelled really bad. He had this weird odor to him. I opened the door. And I noticed that he had little blood sprinkles on his shorts. And I'm like, what? And I said, what happened to you? Why do you have blood on your shorts? And he got really mad. he got really agitated with me immediately and started getting really defensive. And he's like, I cut myself doing inventory at work. I was like, you were wearing those shorts at your job? I thought you worked at Saks Fifth Avenue. You have to wear a suit, don't you? What do you mean you were wearing shorts doing inventory? He's like, yeah, I work really late. I've been working late. And mind you, I haven't seen him in like a month, at least, like 3 weeks to a month. That's the last time I saw him. And the last time I saw him, we got into an argument at the fucking Pizza Hut, and then we went to a motel, the La Quinta, and that's the last time I saw him because I didn't even want to go there, but he coerced me into going to that motel, and then he dropped me off at home, and that was it. And I was like, and then I never heard from him for like a month. And then all of a sudden, a couple days ago, he starts calling me, leaving me messages again. Ironically, like I said, at the same time, every time, it's like since these people know, I believe he's monitoring my calls, or these people, since I suspect they work for the government or whatever they do, they're using me for money, monetary purposes. They're trying to steal my money. They're trying to mock me, steal my identity, and act like whatever I do is it's theirs. No, it's mine. I have ideas, I have my own life, and these people can't control my life or the narrative of my life. But that's what they seem to want to do, because he started insisting that I was his, that I belonged to him, he was saying. I'm like, no, I don't belong to you, and you don't belong to me. I'm a free what are you talking about? We're not even together. You've been with other women. You have other relationships. I think you even have a child. Didn't you just have a baby or something recently? Because I keep having these visions that he had that somebody had a child, a baby, or that he's a father that he doesn't want me to know about, that something happened where somebody got pregnant, who I suspect, and I could be wrong about who, but I think that it's a girl, someone that he worked with, that he had something going on with, that maybe got pregnant. And I think, I could be wrong about who it is, but that's what I think, okay? And I just keep having these, because the way his behavior has been, and all these signs going on around me, like the visions I've been having, the dreams, and then the signs of people, like, you get subtle clues about things from unexpected places and people, and it's like all these hints that something like that is what's going on, or that he's a father that he doesn't want me to know about his kids, or maybe he has a lot of kids with different women, that there's something, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know there's something definitely that he is hiding from me. I've never been in the 3 years now, I've known him for 3 years now. 3 years, okay? It's been 3 years, pretty much 3 years. Not once have I been inside his house, never once have I been inside of his bedroom, never once have I met anybody in his family, his parents or anything. He keeps all these secrets. And if you've allowed somebody in your home, your territory, your sacred area for that long, and they still are harboring all these secrets from you, or they're telling you half-truths or whatever, then it's clearly indicative that something is off. And that's my intuition speaking to me, but as well as just common sense tells me that there's something that I shouldn't trust this man, or there's something that he's hiding, or there's something evil. And I don't want to say that he's completely demonic or evil, because everybody's got some good qualities to them, but this man seems to have a lot of rage and anger issues that he's projecting onto me in ways that are kind of subtle and sometimes more overt, because I found things out, or I kind of figured things out just from talking to him and getting him to kind of reveal, like, they'll reveal things. Narcissistic people will reveal things on accident to you. They'll reveal who they really are without really even trying. They'll do it because they want you to know in a way, but at the same time they feel ashamed. But they'll start, as you get to know them and as you're around them and as you try to communicate, because they're very difficult to communicate with. Most of the conversations with them revolve around themselves, and it's very one-sided, because you feel like every time you're talking to them, they're not really listening to what you're saying. They might be listening, but they're not absorbing what you're saying. It's like they're not really there. You're talking to somebody who's like their mind is somewhere else. They're thinking about something else. They're not focused on the conversation or what you're even talking about, because it's like scatterbrained, like they have severe ADD. They can't pay attention. They don't have focus. They have, I guess what I'm trying to say is they can't focus on one thing. They have a difficult time focusing on you because their mind is thinking about something that they did yesterday or what they're going to do the next day. You know what I mean? They're scatterbrained. So it's very difficult to have any kind of an in-depth conversation with them, because it's like kind of like you're talking to an arrested development, a child, like a 15-year-old child who's in an adult body, or a 12-year-old boy who's only thinking about sex in an adult body, because he's very somatic. A somatic narcissist is one who's very much physical and about touch, feel, image, status, image, the way you look, what you wear, your clothes, your body, touching you. He always wants to touch me. Like he's constantly, like every time I see him, he just wants to grab me and touch me. And it's like, just slow down. It's like it's like dealing with an uncontrollable sex addict, or like I said, like somebody who's a predator in a way. It's weird because I've had boyfriends, I've had real relationships, I've had actual, plenty of intimacy in my life and boyfriends and relationships, but never to the point where the person is so crowding me and so touchy-feely. Like they won't give you your space in a way, it's like, it's weird. Like they feel like they seem to, he's like, and he'll say things like, I've missed you so much, I really need you. I can't be without you. Things like that he'll say, but it doesn't make any sense, because if that were the case, then he wouldn't have just disappeared for that. He knows that I block him all the time and he still shows up. And even when I had blocked him before, or I still have him blocked, he'll still leave me messages. So it's like obvious to me that he's been with someone else, or I don't know how many women he's with or how many relationships he has going on at once. I don't know. I just have my suspicions because of his behavior is indicative of somebody who's like a kind of a predator, very addicted to sex. I don't know how else to say it without trying to sound, but he's a sex addict. He's somebody who's all about wanting his his physical needs met, and that's his whole world. When it's like that. It revolves around that. Now he's not even eating. He looks emaciated. He's starting to get emaciated looking. His body. He doesn't look like he's eating. He says he's not eating. I said, you're not eating? He's like, no, I just don't eat anymore. I'm like, well, he eats something in the morning, but he doesn't eat. And he says he works really late every day, and he's just been working, and that's all he does. I'm like, okay, are you sure you're not doing any kind of drugs? Are you maybe doing some drugs or something? Are you drinking a lot, or going out and doing some partying? But what are you doing? Because your behavior is really weird, and you're not eating, you're not taking care of yourself, and something's off, something's weird. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I can just feel, you can just sense things about people from the way they look at you. They don't want to make eye contact. They start darting their eyes around. He can't focus on anything. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Sometimes I'm like, and then he just takes his clothes off and lays down on the floor. Like, it's like, he's like, I want to go to your bed. I'm like, no, you're not going into my room, into my bed, no. And so he just takes his clothes off and lays down on the wood floor here by the machine, the treadmill, that I have that doesn't really, this treadmill thing. I'm like, what in the world, dude? I was like, I was about to leave. I need to get out of this house. I have something to do. He's like, oh, let me take you. I'll take it. It's like, no, you need to move your car so I can go about what I need to do. And you're blocking my car. Can you please move your car because I need to leave? And he was like insistent about letting him take me. And I was like, no, forget it. I just, he's like, well, let's go get a soda. I'll get you. I was like, you feel drained. Like these people, like they drain you of your energy within about 10 minutes. I felt exhausted. I was already kind of tired. I had already been up since early, it's like they just seem to think they don't have any consideration for what you're doing. They just barge in unannounced, uninvited, and just kind of take over. That's what they do. And it's very disrespectful in a way, because I don't do that. I feel like people need their space. I believe in giving people their space. I don't care if you live with somebody or not, you still need your space. I like my alone solitude. I'm very independent like that. I've always been someone who likes my solitude. I can talk to the fucking wall or read a book and listen to music and go into my own cosmos and feel fine. I can get a heavy dose of people by going to the fucking gym or going to the grocery store, and that's it. I don't need any more for the day. A couple hours is a plenty for me. I don't like big crowds. I don't like to be around a bunch of people. I'm much better at interacting with people on a one-on-one situation. That's the only way I can communicate effectively, is if I'm just talking to one person at a time. And a lot of people are opposite of that. They need a big audience. They need to be the center of attention, and they need constant adulation from people who they don't even know. I make YouTube videos. I don't have a bunch of subscribers or allow comments, but I do it for my own therapeutic reasons, as well as documenting this weird stuff that happens to me, because I feel like it's necessary. So back to what happened, though, with this man. So he's in my house, right? He ends up, whatever. I don't want to. I had a cup by my bedside table, a plastic. Here's the cup. This cup that I always I drink out of the same orange pink plastic cup all the time. I rinse it out. I put the ice in there and some water, and then I mix some powder this flavored drink mix that I have, like lemonade or whatever, and I do that all the time, and I drink from the same cup every fucking day, and these people know that because there's surveillance in this house, so they know your habits. These narcissistic people who are watching me, the espionage, illegal spying on me, know my habits, and they know, they'll find things to pick on you about that are personal to you, very personal to you, via illegal surveillance to fuck with your head. That's called gaslighting. And so and it's psychological spiritual warfare is what this is all about. At this stage, it's getting bad. It's getting to be a fucking war, because I woke up this morning. I put the cup, at some point I put it on the counter in the kitchen, right? And he was in there for a while because he wanted something to drink. So I poured him some soda from some soda that I had in the refrigerator, and I rinsed out a blue cup that I had and gave him some soda. But at some point, I looked into my cup at the bottom, and this is the second time I've noticed this. The first time I just dismissed it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And ironically enough, is the last time that happened was when he was in this house too, I noticed. But I looked in the bottom of the cup, and there's these little red seeds. Okay, and I'm like, what the hell is that? It's nothing that I've eaten. It's not fruit that I've eaten. It's not straw. It's like these little red something. Okay, and I'm like, what are these? And I was like, they're not beans, they're not strawberry seed, they're not pomegranate seeds. I'm like, what the fuck are these things? And I'm like, and I noticed them at the bottom of my cup. And and so I'm like, what the fuck? And it just so happens that he was here. And it's a good thing I didn't eat them on accident or drink them. Because I started looking up what the fuck this is. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I started typing in poisonous red seeds. Because he started telling me about his friend, a girl named Anita Pickett, who I have noticed before on his Facebook. And some girl, there's just something about her that she just looks, and he's talked about her before, how they met dancing and how she approached him like 7 years ago and started flirting with him. And I don't know what the hell these two had going on, if they have something going on or romantic or whatever, but apparently I think she has some kind of an obsession with him, or they might. Now the two of them, I think because he started saying that she's a botanist and she knows all about poisonous plants, he said. He started talking about her like, oh yeah, she can do anything and kill people with poisonous plant. He was talking about botany and poison plants, and this woman, Anita, his friend Anita Pickett, and how she went through the probate stuff and all. And I'm like, okay. And I had looked at her Facebook profile before, and I'm like, this girl looks fucking creepy. She looks demonic. She looks evil. And I just got that feeling like I don't like her. I don't like her, and that's a good friend of his. Apparently, they're good friends, and God only knows what else they have had in the past, but they're friends, okay? And I know that, and I know that this woman hates me. I know that they don't like. I know that especially now she hates me, and she's probably jealous or something. I feel like that girl has something to do with something. That's just my instincts kicking in, because he's talking about botany and poison plants, and this girl knows everything about, and then her daughter goes to UT and is a botanist as well, and they know about, obviously people in botany know about these poison plants and whatnot. I'm not a fucking botanist. I don't know anything about, I don't plant anything, and I don't even, I'm just saying, I don't fucking know shit about poison plants. I'm ignorant about that stuff. But anyway, I looked up I just typed in poisonous red seed, and the first thing that came up was something called, I typed it in and looked at pictures of it and what this could look like, and I found something called rosary peas. Rosary peas, and it says they're poisonous. They're very toxic to human consumption. They're poisonous. They're called rosary peas. And that's what this is. This is what this is. This is called a rosary pea. I never fucking heard of it in my life, ever. But I believe that's what this is. It was at the bottom of my fucking cup that I found this morning. It's a good thing I didn't fucking eat these, because these can kill. One of these can kill a person. If you eat one of them, according to what I just looked up on Google, this can kill a person. A person can die because they're very poisonous. And that's exactly what the fuck is in my, I'm almost sure, I'm not 100% sure, but what else would this is nothing from my house. I didn't put that in my cup. I know that I didn't put that at the bottom of my fucking cup. It's not my drink mix. So what's up with that? And it just so happens that he was in my house yesterday for several hours, and for a lot of the time I was sitting here, there's no telling what he did without my looking when this cup was on my bedside table, because that's where it was, and he was in my bed, laying down. He could have easily gotten something out of his pocket or something and stuck that in here. I don't know. Or maybe he had him in his wallet, his pocket, something. But somebody put that, and he's the only person who I know of who was in this house when I was here. Unless somebody came in the house without my knowledge. I don't know what to say. I'm just saying that somebody is trying to fucking poison me with something called rosary peas. And thank God I didn't consume them this morning it's a good thing that I didn't. Because I could have died. I could have died. So, I know people probably don't believe what I'm saying, but I swear to God, I swear on the Holy Cross, on the Bible, that I am not making this stuff up. That right now, it's like these people are targeting me so much, it very subtly, albeit subtle, but they are. They try to hide it, but you can feel, like when people hate you, and there's a lot of anger or jealousy or envy around certain people, I don't care if they're family or that you think they're a so-called friend, you can feel it. Something in your bones, something in your instincts kick in. It's like a survival, something just kind of kicks in, and it's like all of a sudden I go into like fucking survival mode whenever I feel like I'm being attacked. Because there's something weird. It's like people naturally don't behave in the way he was behaving, and he's lost weight. He's lost a lot of weight very quickly, and he's not eating, and he started saying shit, talking in his sleep, like talking random shit about like car seats and playing Nintendo, car seats and Nintendo PlayStation. He started talking about all that shit, and then he started talking about donuts. And he was like sleep talking, like half asleep, but not really, just talking a lot. It's nonsense. His behavior was very strange, like somebody who's on drug, like some kind of something. And so I just had to document that.